What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome on into the Jets Report. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be previewing the Week 2 matchup where the New York Jets are taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in MetLife Stadium in this AFC East showdown. And coming up, we'll be discussing what both the Jets and the Bills did during Week 1 of their start to the 2025 NFL season. Also got 5 keys to victory and a couple of key injury news pieces around the Buffalo Bills. But before we dive into it, if you guys could hit that subscribe button today, we're closing in on 9,500 subs. So it's all credit to you guys here first. Shout out to everybody who has already hit that subscribe button. But if you guys have not already, change that. Hit that subscribe button today. We just need 232 more subscribers. So help us reach 9,500 subs on today's show. So starting off here with the Buffalo Bills. The Bills on Sunday night had a historic fourth quarter comeback versus the Baltimore Ravens. They were down 27-13, then they got down 40-25, and it looked like the Bills had zero chance to win this football game. But then what happened? Number 17, he put on that Superman cape, and he put the Bills and the whole city of Buffalo on his back. And this is what his total stat line looks from that Week 1 performance against the Baltimore Ravens. 33 of 46. Had over 400 total yards, 396 came through the air, and he had 4 total touchdowns and 0 turnovers. And I thoroughly believe this. Josh Allen right now is the best football player alive. He is the most dangerous man in the National Football League. There really is no stopping this guy. He is that good. He has just been on one for the last 2 seasons. He won the MVP award last year, and he is picking up right where he left off with a masterful performance during Week 1, and he's just got the hot hand right now. I mean, his rushing ability is fantastic. He can throw the piss out of the football, and he has just been unreal for the Buffalo Bills. So this is definitely the scariest part of this game for the New York Jets, but a good thing for the Jets here is the Bills got kind of gashed against the Baltimore Ravens. You know, obviously you give up 41 points, but specifically on the ground. And Derrick Henry and this Ravens rushing attack ran all over them. They gave up 238 rushing yards, allowing 8.2 yards per carry. Now, they forced a huge turnover late in the game that sparked the comeback on a Derrick Henry fumble, but still, you give up 40 points, you give up 430-plus yards. I mean, this is the first time in a while where the Bills won't have a top 10 defense in the regular season. And the storyline around the Bills over the Josh Allen era is like, yeah, they always have good defenses in the regular season, but they always get 30 hung on them during the postseason. But now in the first regular season game, with the injuries they have to their secondary, this defense might not be top 10 for the first time under the Sean McDermott era. And I can make an argument. Week 1 for Buffalo, even though it was a historic comeback, is it really a good thing? Because Josh Allen still has to put on the Superman cape for the Bills to win big-time games. Now, do you consider the Jets a big-time game opponent? We'll see. The Jets bring their A game, I think they could be considered just that. But for the Bills to win these high leverage games, it's not on the defense. It's not on anybody else. It's on number 17, and it's still kind of the same issues they've had. They've been a wagon here in the AFC, just the whole NFL actually as a whole. But still, Josh Allen, for them to get where they want to go, he's going to have to play perfect football in every single game. Now it's shifting to the New York Jets. So heartbreaking loss in Week 1. Taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He ended up dropping this game 34-32, but I thought the process for the Jets was absolutely fantastic. You had some mental mistakes, which is the biggest reason why you lost this game, but the product they put out there on the field, specifically offensively, was unbelievable, and even more specifically, the quarterback, Justin Fields, number 7, he was on fire in this game. Had a completion percentage of 72.7. It was truly probably his best game he's ever played as a pro. Had 48 rushing yards, 218 yards through the air, 3 total touchdowns. And the dynamic that Fields brings to this Jets offense is it just takes this rushing attack to a different level. And we knew what Aaron Glenn wanted to do here. He wanted to be a defensive-minded team. He wanted to run the football, and they did just that. At least, running the football in Week 1, going for 39 carries, 182 yards, averaging 4.7 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. And you got to keep in mind, there's context here. You're not going against Miami Dolphins in Week 1. You're not going up against, the New Orleans Saints. You're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were supposed to have one of the best defenses in the NFL heading into the season, and the Jets gashed them. And I think what is so dangerous about this new New York Jets that we have here under Aaron Glenn is that the identity has already been set week 1 of the season, I can make an argument the Jets' identity was set when Aaron Glenn was hired because everything he has talked about throughout the offseason, the training camp, preseason to the regular season, it came to fruition week 1 where he was saying, we're going to be a physical football team. We're not going to be an easy out any given week. And that is a dangerous feeling around a team where it's like, we know what we want to accomplish every single week. And that's a dangerous spot to be in, especially in a potential trap game here for the Buffalo Bills. So I'll give you guys my keys to victory here in just a second. But before we do so, predict the score for me down below. Bills versus Jets. You got the Jets moving the 1-1 on the season, but you got the Bills taking it. You guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Now, coming up next, do have some keys to victory for you guys, and then also some injury news around the Buffalo Bills secondary, which could be a very gettable spot here for the New York Jets. But before we do so, if you guys want to get some more New York Jets merchandise in your life, just hit that link, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. I'll put that link in the comment section and description of today's show. But click that link, get this hoodie. It's on sale right now. It's a fresh look. You can see Aaron Glenn rocking this on game days. So if you guys want to help support us here at Chat Sports, click that link, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. All right, so the number one key to victory, and I think this is by far the biggest key, it's keep Josh Allen off the football field. And the number one way you can do this is you run the hell out of the football. And that's why it is so dangerous that the Jets already have that identity, because every single week they're going to be trying to run the football. And running the football, you have long possessions, clock keeps moving, it limits possessions for the other teams offensively, and that's how you can keep Josh Allen off the field, because right now there is no stopping Josh Allen when he is playing his best ball. Like when he is blacked out like the way he was on Sunday night and he's just feeling himself, there's really nothing you could do. You could have the 85 Bears out there. You could have the early 2000 Ravens. It does not matter when that man and number 17 is just controlling and dominating the game. And it's also very intimidating for defenses, and it's also intimidating for the opposing quarterback because they see him just being an unstoppable force. Then that other quarterback will start to press the issue a little bit. So the run game has to control this one for the New York Jets. Like, I'm talking a heavy dosage of Braelon Allen, Breece Hall. Let that offensive line cook, and they did just that in week 1. And now you're going up against a worse defense in the Buffalo Bills. That's why I think of the Jets. If they can just consistently run the football in this matchup, this could be a trap game for the Buffalo Bills. And number 2 for me, I'm going to go get Justin Fields hot early. Now, I've made this comparison before, but Fields really does remind me of a streaky shooter in basketball, where if he sees his first couple of attempts go through, he could start feeling himself, he'll get in a rhythm, he'll get momentum going, but also on the opposite end of the spectrum, if he's off target, then it could kind of derail. And I thought the preseason was a perfect example of this. Week 1 versus the Packers, dude was nails. He was unreal. Following week against the Giants, struggled early, couldn't really get anything going. So a big reason last week, and you'll for sure give credit to Tanner Engstrand on this, he got him in rhythm super early in this matchup, where Fields was using his legs. He was building off plays. He saw a couple of early out routes go through the Garrett Wilson. Then he finally took that deep shot to Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. I was like, all right, Justin Fields is ready to go. He's feeling it today. And then Engstrand really started to open up that offense. So I love the way he handled it. So getting Fields hot early is number 2 for me. And then number 3, don't beat yourself. The Jets outplayed the Steelers last week. Just call it like it is. They were the better football team, but you lost that game because you beat yourself. And if the Jets commit the same mental mistakes they did versus Pittsburgh, they could lose this game by 20 against the Buffalo Bills. It doesn't matter how good the offense is. If you give the football away, if you're having bonehead penalties after the play, the Bills' offense will score a touchdown every single time, and they will just get cooking. So you can't have these mental mistakes. You could do that against a mediocre Pittsburgh Steelers team, but when you're going up against a Super Bowl contender like the Bills, if you have fumbles on the kick return like Xavier Gibson did, if you have bonehead penalties after the play, it could really start snowballing, because a Super Bowl contender, they'll just build off that, and they'll get momentum cooking. So you can't beat yourself. And then 4th, blue chippers got to be blue chippers. When you're going up against some of the best in the league, you need your best on your team to step up. And I'm looking at 3 guys defensively here. Number 1, Sauce Gardner. Now, the Bills don't have a true wide receiver 1. They're trying to make Keon Coleman that. Sauce Gardner should just take Keon Coleman away. And then Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, you guys are going to be huge getting home to Josh Allen, because he's a tough man to bring down. 6'6", big body, great pocket presence, literally a perfect quarterback. But also Quinnen Williams and his brother Quincy, stopping James Cook in that run game will be absolutely massive. So these three, I mean, McDonald's going to have a sack. Honestly, what these three did last week, you replicate it with that run game, you got a chance to win. And lastly here, an emotional letdown game. The Buffalo Bills, that was one of the craziest NFL games I've ever seen on Sunday night. You're down 15 late in the fourth quarter. Just crazy plays, miracle-esque plays. This is a typical letdown spot. And especially when you're traveling on the road, coming off Sunday Night Football, playing a division rival, this team is in prime position to just lay a stinker. And teams coming off emotional victories, just in the history of the NFL, they're prime for a letdown the following week. Just like how on the opposite end, where let's just say the Bills lost against the Ravens, and let's just say that crazy Keon Coleman touchdown doesn't go through, and the Ravens end up winning like 47 to 25, for example. Team's embarrassed on the national stage, then they could bounce back and completely embarrass a team. But when you're coming off that emotional victory, that just as I'm talking myself through this video, everything is setting up for a good old classic trap game for the Buffalo Bills. But let's talk about some injury news, because this could be key for the New York Jets, specifically the passing attack here. Because, even though we're talking about the run game, they need to get going, but they also got to be able to throw the ball to compete and maintain with the Bills' offense. And they're not going to be with their first-round pick, Maxwell Harrison. He was placed on IR before the season with a sprained LCL. So they have a ton of injuries to that secondary. So guys like Garrett Wilson, maybe we'll see a little Mason Taylor in this one. I mean, Zay Flowers just hung 140 yards on them. I'm expecting Garrett Wilson to go for 100 in this game coming up. And they also will probably be without Tre'Davious White. It's going to be a key injury to keep your eyes on, even though Trey White, not the same guy he was when he was one of the better corners in the league back when he was originally at the Buffalo Bills. But still a big-time injury. We'll know more on Wednesday, so another reason to hit that subscribe button. But the Bills are banged up. Typical trap game. I'm going to take the Jets in this one. I think the Jets are going to win this. If I had to give a score prediction, I don't know if it's going to be a shootout like last week. I don't know if the Jets want to get in a shootout with the Buffalo Bills. I think if they win this game, it's going to have to be like 27-23, and you got to stall that Bills offense out in the red zone, which is another huge challenge. Josh Allen is one of the best red zone quarterbacks of all time, so that's going to be massive. But I'm going to ride with the Jets on this one. I think they're going to move to 500, get that big-time victory, and then the momentum should be rolling with 2 games in Florida the next 2 weeks. But you guys let me know. Who you got? Give me a J for the Jets or give me a B for the Bills. Now, if you guys could, hit that subscribe button on your way out. We will be going live for this game on the channel, so make sure you guys tune in then. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.